1-yard line. Roethlisberger handing it off. This is Connor. He is in for a Steelers touchdown. It is Smith-Schuster who makes the catch.
What a catch.
Finds McDonald, and he takes it in for a Steelers touchdown.
Woohoo! 6-0, baby.
I can't believe
6-0. Well, it wasn't pretty.
It,
I don't know why it feels like it wasn't pretty, but we still won. Yeah, we still won. Go Steelers.
We are the last undefeated team in the league.
Yes, we are. Number one. Number one in the power rankings.
In one of them. In the ESPN ones. The NFL power rankings, we're still second.
Behind the champs. So I had no problem with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I can respect that. They're a good team. So the Titans game was it was messy, to say the least, in the second half.
You know, it was a good game, but you said to me, we were together, and you said, "Man, I love blowouts," and that's the last moment we really enjoyed till the very end. It was small things, man. That's how the Titans win. They get turnovers, they get luck.
Battered ball. Oh, intercepted.
Right.
Oh,
it was luck, man.
Oh, your safety slipped, and then it's a 70-yard
hopefully
play.
this is something we can learn from because of the playoffs.
You can't learn from Sarah.
Who?
Sarah. Miss Sarah, the referee.
Oh, my God.
You can't learn from her. There's nothing to fix.
She was terrible. A couple of those calls, the personal foul in the second half and the special teams was terrible.
That was awful. Our hit and Vaccaro's hit on us were very different.
Yeah.
We were full motion inbounds.
Right.
He was 5 yards out of bounds.
But she was offended, so she threw a flag. She had a couple of them.
She was bad.
The holding call that she did was bad, too.
Offensive pass interference on a 2-yard slant. How did anyone have time to
It was on Jalen Samuels, supposedly. And
Why is he even in there, for the record?
Well, that's a good question. I like the kid. He's the third-string running back.
Fourth, really.
Hell, they should have kept, Switzer, rather than have him in there.
Probably. But I just don't understand that play because, you can do anything you want within the first 5 yards, can't you? In terms of contact, blocking, and stuff.
Yeah, you can. They were saying, they didn't say illegal pick, did they?
No, they said pass interference. Yeah, it didn't make sense.
Yeah, well, we won nevertheless, and Chad called it right with a missed field goal at the end by the Titans. And, boy, he's good. He was right. Got to give a shout-out to two people on Facebook, Steeler Facebook pages we posted on. James Rogers Jr. and Jim Roberts both predicted the exact score, 27-24 Steelers.
Wow, congratulations to those guys.
Yeah,
they must
good
know
job,
football.
Guys. We'd send you a T-shirt, but we're out. But, hey, man, good job, guys. It's great. One of them said, it was just luck. But, hey, man, you guessed it right. So
It's still impressive.
I wish it would have been 37-10, which it should have been, but,
I'm kind of happy it ended the way it did because these players, DeCastro and Watt have made these statements like, it's makes us realize, we're not that great. We can have a little more discipline. I like you showing off the helmet. Yeah.
I don't even know if you can see it.
Bring it in. Yeah, bring it in this shot.
All right.
It's a nice helmet. It's cool.
From Sears.
It's from the 70s.
It's from the Sears catalog when I was a boy. My Terry Bradshaw.
In the 70s. That's cool, though. And it lasted.
If you can't see it, it's good luck. I've had it since I was a kid.
You should tell people. Terry Bradshaw actually wore this.
He did.
Yeah, in 79.
Roy Jarella wore it. Terry Hanratty wore it. Terry, you're my friend on Facebook. Number one pick starting quarterback in 1970.
Seriously?
Terry Hanratty.
I've never even heard that name.
Yeah, he was the Terry before Bradshaw.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
I've heard that saying, and I never even thought anything of it.
You thought that you didn't think it was a real person?
No, I just didn't think anything of it. You don't connect the dots because just to a lot of people, Steelers football is just, it started with Terry Bradshaw. You know what I mean?
No.
I mean, I know we've gone through our historic players and gone through all that stuff. But
right.
when you think about it, it just skipped to the iconic name.
Right. So. He's a good guy, too. Anyway, guess what? We got our first opening drive to TD.
In 24 games, man?
26, I believe.
Cheers to that.
All right.
Hopefully it doesn't happen for another. Hopefully it happens more.
We get a streak
26
going.
games.
We almost blew it thanks to Chooks,
Yeah, but
wasn't that the holding call?
It was. He had two.
Otherwise, we would have had who got that first touchdown? It was Claypool.
Johnson, right?
Johnson got the first touchdown, but the one that they called back was some Claypool, wasn't it? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Yeah.
No, it was Connor.
Maybe it was Connor.
Connor, I think. Yeah. I there were a couple things there, even though there were 2 times that we had dived and hit the cones that they said wasn't a touchdown, the pylons. The last it was a shitty game, to be honest with you.
Well, Ben didn't really play that great. He had his worst game of the year, I think. His accuracy was
Can't
terrible.
really count one of the interceptions because he was just lobbing it up.
Yeah, the one that, they threw up for grabs, and then the tip too. But the last one, he tried to force in there to Juju. It wasn't
Triple
a very
coverage.
good throw. There was someone wide open right by. They could have got the first down.
That
I don't
just run out
understand.
the clock.
That's the kind of stuff he does that drives me nuts. He did it against Denver. Remember?
Tries too hard to be an athlete.
Yeah.
Just let it happen, man.
Just be patient, and
he wasn't under a lot of pressure.
And is that once again road Ben rears its ugly head, but he won. They won. So, but
That's
he
all
doesn't
that
play
matters.
as well on the road, man.
Most people.
But this
don't,
week
though.
he probably will. So maybe he'll be the MVP this week.
Yeah, we'll go over that. We're gonna have a Ravens preview, just like normal.
Right,
We're gonna have an
right.
episode like that.
But I thought we ran the ball well.
First game we didn't hit 100 yards, unfortunately.
Right.
Which is okay, though.
I thought we should have ran a little more in the second half.
I agree.
And how about that block by Henry Monroe on the touchdown for Connor?
That's
He
the
took
only
two
thing
people off.
That's the only thing he did well all
Yeah,
game.
the rest of it he
But
sucked.
man, it was funny to see.
Actually, it was Gerald Hawkins had a nice block on the outside, and then Monroe took those 2 guys in. It was great.
He's a big dude. So do you think he'll stick around over Bugs?
I don't.
No.
I think they just brought him up because he was bigger.
Yeah, but if
And he
Watt's
played-
out longer,
Yeah,
don't
maybe. I
don't
guess
we
he
have
could
to
play fullback.
sign Edmonds.
He looked fast.
Well, if Watt's out for a longer period of time, I think we can only do one more promotion with Edmonds before we have to make him a contract.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's kind of weird. So I mean, what are we?
And we
what
didn't
are
even
you
play Edmonds, did we?
doing? We brought him up still, though. I think.
Yeah, but I don't think we played him.
No, but that's
I'd rather
kind
have
of a
him in
waste
there
of-
than Jalen Samuel. Sorry, Jalen, but
I agree.
Chooks didn't have his best game.
He was against Clowney though. That's a decent player.
Of course, the face mask thing he did twice was stupid. Normally, they wouldn't call that.
At least I thought that they would have called the first one that they were going to call an unintentional, the 5 yards, not the 15. You know what I mean? It seemed like it was a pat, not a grab. Maybe I'm wrong, but
Yeah, but that was
the penalties in general were a total waste.
most
I mean,
of them
it's
were
just
bad
ridiculous.
calls, man. And if they would have went the other way, this game was over. I mean, they just kept the Titans in the game. We kept the Titans in the game. They
Well, there
had
was
no
one
business.
that like when Tannehill did the QB sneak on 3rd and 1, and we swore he didn't get it, and then both of the line judges come out and say 4th down, and then the back judge from 10 yards back is coming up and saying 1st down. It's like, how the hell did that guy see? He was 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. What did he see? How did he see 1st down? So I don't know, but Watt did good. Watt played well, and I think he broke a record, didn't he?
Oh, yes, he did. He was the first player. He broke Woodley's 40 sacks in 4 seasons, first 4 seasons. So
That's pretty cool.
he's amazing. He's amazing. Back to the receivers, I thought they should have played Washington a little more. I don't understand that, but I think he will this week.
Seemed like a forceful game for Juju, trying to get his stats up or something. It was weird.
Yeah, he did seem like he was forcing a little bit. But, I think that's the kind of defense they play. They only allowed the underneath stuff.
Yeah.
So that was what we were hitting. We took what they gave us, and they weren't going to give up the big play. So we took it underneath and tried to run for the first down. It worked most of the time. Johnson's just so frail.
He is.
He needs to
expected
bulk
him to
up
get
a little
tougher
bit,
this
man.
year, but I guess he didn't. I don't know.
He's a hell of a player.
He is a good player, and he made a lot of athletic plays there.
Yeah.
He had 2 touchdowns in that game, right?
Yeah. Yep. But Juju did come to play. Ebron had some nice plays.
Ray, how about Ray with that punt return?
Yeah, Ray's
That looked
awesome.
awesome. I was so wrong about him. And
Yeah,
I'll take
he's-
that.
He's a good player.
He is such a good player.
And the D-line played well. I mean, hell, we're the only team to slow Henry down this year.
That's right. That's true. And he even
We can't take
applauded us
and we
for it.
can't take away. We act like we barely beat an 0-5 team. We beat a 5-0 team. They're still
They're
a good
team. Yeah.
And at their house, and we stopped Derrick Henry, and he even gave us credit. He said, "Man, they were the first team to stop me. They were good." So
We are good. I mean, we were top one over. Watt was taking on double
and
team.
some of those passing yards they got. You're so hard. You're trying to stop the run,
It's gonna happen.
and then But I don't think that if everybody's on what's his name there, Minka. Of course, he had that one bad play where he took a bad angle, but that's going to happen. Man.
Well, again, I mean, some of that could be attributed to playing the run and thinking, you know,
Right.
if they did a play action, he's stepping up.
And that play, I think he thought Vince was going to tip it. He just barely missed it.
Yeah.
And he might have been trying to stay back to get the pick, you know.
Defensively, how about Spillane, man?
Yeah, he's playing well. How about that hit on 4th down? Woo!
I'm sure that was a stinger that made him come out.
Yeah, he's fine. I think he'll be. I didn't hear today.
I'm sure he's fine.
I didn't hear the injury report, but I think he's probably fine.
Yeah.
You know, those guys have said Ebron's helped them a lot with covering tight ends in practice because he's so good.
I heard that.
Receiver.
That's pretty cool.
Watt played well. How about all the tackles he made on the running back there?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Getting by the legs on Henry. Just like he was nothing.
So, I mean, defensively, we did pretty well. The second half was pretty bad. Do you think that was like more because we were doing like playing too conservative?
No, I think it was just the opportune times that they had things go their way with penalties and turnovers.
So they just, they got the ball on our 40.
Our offense put our defense in a bad position.
Yeah, makes sense.
We get the one touchdown. We didn't get called back. Then the game's over, but we had a field goal, kept them in it. And then they got that 4th down. We stop them, and then we get that penalty on Minka. That was another bad play by him. He shouldn't have done that. But that guy was picking him, actually.
He got beat. He was having contact, but he
But I don't think they would have scored there, even if he wouldn't have done that.
I don't think Tannehill could have made that athletic of a throw.
And game over, But luckily their kicker came through, as Chad said he would. And that's part of the game,
He's a good kicker, but he's 5 of 11 under 50 yards.
Even though we're undefeated, we're number 1 in the power rankings or whatever, I still don't feel like we're getting the respect we need. We're not the big story. All they're talking about is Green Bay. And
go to the front page of NFL on ESPN, and you got to scroll way down before you get to us.
Right.
Which is fine. I mean, we're not even gelling yet. I mean, we're not even on all cylinders yet. We got a long ways to go, especially offensively.
And I think we could be so much better.
Yeah.
And how about the Cam Sutton filling in for Hilton? He
looked fine.
Had a great game.
Yeah. Against, again, a 5-0 team.
And Bud Dupree was very quiet. I don't know if he was just keying on the run. Maybe.
Did you see him dropping back into coverage a lot?
I don't know what he was doing. Maybe that was what they were doing with Bush out. Maybe they're going to do that more.
Have him make up for it because he's
fast. I
fast.
don't know if I like that though.
I like the pressure that he brings. We need it.
Yeah.
Because people always run away from Watt, and that's where Dupree's just sitting right there, and they come right to him.
And I did see that. A lot of guys, key players, didn't play some of the second half. They had some guys more rested than I thought.
Like Wormley was in there, and who else was in there? Mondo was in there.
Right. Cam was out. They had Highsmith in there a lot, and Dane A.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They kind of, maybe they were resting up for this week. Sometimes I think we do that. Sometimes we take games off, but it bites us in the ass sometimes too. But
I don't know. It kind of hurts that this next week that the Ravens got a bye right before this game. And
does it hurt? I don't know.
It's annoying to me. I mean, that bothers me. So.
We should have had to bye too. But we always play shitty
Tennessee
after.
right before. I mean,
we usually play worse after a bye. So we're gonna find out, man. How about Boswell? He's really a hell of a kicker, man.
I don't want to. Knock on wood. I don't want to jinx the guy. He's been good. And you know what? We stuck with him though. He had a bad year,
right?
Really bad year, and we just said, no, man, he's good. We'll stick with him, and we did.
We have.
So
Barry punted great. We signed Barry. It was something that happened after our last show.
I was so nervous watching him. He was wiping his hands before his
looked
first
nervous.
punt. I'm like, oh god, this guy's gonna fumble the ball. And he did fine. Did good. Better than Colquitt was doing.
Yeah, I think he did. I wanted Colquitt on the team because his dad was on the team. I love the history, but he just sucked. So maybe he's done. It's nice to be able to bring our guys back.
Yeah, that's true.
I was hoping they'd bring Roy Jarrella back, but he couldn't make it to the stadium on time. So, but I don't know, man. There's really not much. It was a crazy game. It seemed like it was going to be a blowout. I'm thinking the headline's going to be Steelers roll. But part of me is kind of glad they came back because, we get a big lead on Baltimore. We're not going to let up, man. We're going to know that.
We're going to know people. These good teams will come back.
Right.
Let them sit in there and they'll come back.
I thought we made a big mistake before the half. I think we should try for the field goal.
I agree.
You make that 27-7, the game's over, dude.
They're not. It's a mental difference because they're going to think, they're closer to 30. Mentally, they're like,
we got greedy.
Not.
We got greedy.
Yep.
And
too much. But, I can't really blame them because at the same time, at that point in time, Tennessee's defense was giving us everything we wanted.
That's true.
We were wiping the floor with them.
And
Which we should have.
There was
26th ranked
also
defense.
another thing. They didn't call holding on Watt a lot. Ever. They didn't.
No.
They was getting held.
Dude gets choked to the
And
ground.
Ben was getting hit late
hits.
all the time.
Yeah.
And they just looked the other way.
Yeah.
It's because I don't know if it's because he's
It was
big.
so dirty.
It was bad. It was bad.
What about that one that was like the beginning of it was like the first quarter, whoever 56 is on their team, I forgot to look him up. Remember that when Connor ran out of bounds and he just like was standing there and just pushed him down?
Yeah, they didn't
On
throw a
like the
flag for
first
that.
drive, and the ref's standing right there, and he's like 10 yards out of bounds.
Must have been on the
Just-
opposite side of the woman.
It was her side actually, but she was facing the other direction.
Oh yeah, she was.
Like, come on, are you fucking kidding me?
I'm sorry. I'm sure she's a fine ref.
It's not that we have a problem with women referees; it's we have a problem with her because she
Yeah,
sucks.
She does suck.
She's terrible.
She's a liability out
She's
there.
really trying to prove herself. And
Right,
it's
and
ridiculous.
that's there's no reason to do that. You're right. She's over refing.
Yeah, just let them play football.
Just be a ref, lady.
Just be a ref lady. Be a ref lady.
But man, that's all we really don't.
Not much for the review. I mean,
No,
we won.
we won.
We're 6-0. We're in first place in
we
the division. First place. in the AFC.
got out of there without any major injuries, and we're 6-0.
It's an important time to be 6-0 too, because the next few weeks they're going to be talking about where do things start to fit in with the playoff picture.
And just
You hear
remember,
that.
we were only won 8 games last year. We're
That's
already
right.
at 6.
That's right. What a difference that one person can make. Not that he's done everything, because our defense is good too, but like he, as a
Actually,
field general.
You feel like our defense is not as good as last year?
I do.
Maybe they haven't peaked yet.
I think we're not gelling yet. I do feel it's not as good as last year, but the last 2 games we've stepped up pretty well.
Yeah. Remember, we still haven't played anybody.
That's what some people are still saying. They're still saying that.
You
Or
know-
I've heard this week they keep saying the Bengals are underrated. For the Browns fans, the Bengals are underrated. Come on,
Browns
the
lost-
Bengals are terrible.
They lost to OBJ. So, and that's big.
That is big.
They think that they're going to be able to replace him with the one kid who I like,
Who, Higgins?
Higgins, but he ain't no OB.
Good player, but he's not.
He's no
OBJ.
number 2. He's a
You
number
think
3
OBJ is
maybe.
gone?
I do.
He hasn't done anything for them. I wouldn't keep him.
No
if I were them.
BJs for anybody in Cleveland.
Nobody in Cleveland gets him anyways.
But no, I think he's gone, man. But we realize that they got to pay him $13 million for next year,
Good.
and it's in his contract.
That's where they start getting hit with the salary cap shit finally.
They got to pay him
Finally.
because he got hurt. It's a clause in there. That's huge.
That is huge. Fuck them, man. That's what they get. So, all right, yeah, this was the review of the Titans. Not much more to add on there. I don't
Yeah,
think I
we
got
didn't
anything
do
else.
our legacy player again. We need to start doing it again. But
I forgot. There's a lot going on lately.
yeah, a lot going on.
It's Halloween week.
But
So.
we're going to have some stuff coming up. We're going to have the guy that wrote the book for, I wish I could remember his name. Football in the 70s. Very good book. Been reading it.
Yeah, we're gonna have an exclusive with him.
Yeah, and then we're also going to have Jim Wexel, who wrote the Troy Polamalu book that's coming out next month.
Yeah.
So we got some good stuff, man. Good stuff. We're trying to grow this. Oh, and please like and subscribe.
This past week, we've had a ton of support.
Yeah, we
Massive.
have our best week ever.
By far.
And,
We'd like to do it again.
But we always forget to tell you guys to subscribe, and it helps us and with our costs and stuff. And follow us on YouTube and Spotify.
We're on Facebook. We've got a Facebook page and a
Yes,
group.
2 pages in a group. Steel Studio Podcast. But thank you for your support, and go Steelers, man.
Go Steelers. We'll see you guys for the Ravens preview.
Yes, sir.
Steel Studio.